Good morning, welcome to the Para-Archery World Ranking event in 2021. We are back in the competition field and we follow currently the Tokyo Paralympic quota tournament. It's the last tournament for the para-archers to get their spot and qualify for the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games. This is the first event for these archers, a big international event after pandemic, and currently we are in the compound man open category and also recurve man. We will follow random matches on this part and then we will continue with a world ranking tournament, because of course this is also a world ranking tournament for visually impaired archers. Currently, after the qualification, yesterday quota tournament, we have the final tournament and as well as ranking part. For yesterday, we gained some quota because, as probably most of you know, there was no European Championship happening. So we get some additional quota places for some countries. In the categories which we follow currently, compound man open, there was one spot gain extra for Russia, for Neil Gatin, and another one was for Belgium, which was shot by Piotr van der Montegas. And in recurve category, we get new spots for France by John Tukule and one spot for Slovakia, which was earned by Ivan David. In the other categories, we have continental spots in recurve women open category, which was starting with Greece with Dorothea Pompidou, and another extra spot after gaining spot on World Para-Archery Championship. Extra spot goes to Russia, shot by Margarita Sidorenko. For W1 category, which is the most disabled category in para-archery, for women, W1 Open, Italy gained a spot for Asia Pelliziani. Asia Pellizzari, sorry for that. And for W1 men, we have Hungary for Gaspar Tanes. So those are our additional qualified people from yesterday tournament, where we gain the spot for European quota, and today we will find out who gets the final spots. There are 2 places for each category to get the quota. We can see their visually impaired archers, which are getting ready. They need to set up their stations and they need to have a practice round. Unlike the others who shoot on 50 meters for compound and 70 meters for recurve, visual impaired, they shoot on 30 meters. And later on we will talk how hard it is to shoot when you cannot see and you can only feel. Alright, we have first results coming, and on the compound side we can see some nice score. Full 30 points shot by Ivan Giajic from Ukraine, 30 points, and he's shooting against Jaroslav Zelenka from the Czech Republic with 28 points. Similar situation, 30 to 28, Daniel Leo against Fuji Masaomi. So France against Japan, France another perfect 30. And as we follow recurve, we can have a look on this match which we are shooting. So Maxim Egerin from France, he's tied with Kazakhstan archer Kairat Sarkumulov. Next to them there is a Spanish archer, Jose Manuel Martin Rodriguez. He's getting the lead 2-0 against Václav Košťál from Czech Republic. As you can see, there are some archers who are in the wheelchair, some standing, some using a stool to get some extra support. But since this is the open category for recurve, they all have the same possibilities to shoot and gain their spot.
In Rio, we were very careful about because some of them have as a permanent some little wheels for safety, not to go not with it. But so it is like that and with little wheels. So sometimes we are done if you are depending of where you are looking, from where you are looking, it seems it touches the ground, but in fact no. So that's toujours.
And it looks like everybody finished their end, their second end, and then most of the time just the agents or the coaches, they go score for the others, because of course nobody wants the wheelchairs to go pull up their arrows and mark.
Someone told me, because I don't have time, I'm focused on the map. Because that is not my map. He told me Katerina. She's international job. Because you have so much. She's a spectator, so she has time. You have too much to see.
So some are waiting, as we can see.
Problem is to be sure to take the right decision.
There's missing Maxim Egerin, which is supposed to stand there, but as he's able to walk, he is going to score his arrows by himself. And again here we have some preparation for W or visually impaired category. In this tournament we had it mixed with both categories, and apart from the other parts and other categories who are shooting today,
Also, we will meet in Tokyo.
the quota tournament,
I remember.
visually impaired category, they will have their world ranking tournament.
Because week is mountain to Budapest, which is really quite worthy. All the week we are the field to wait.
As you can see, there's still a lot of archers who want to get their spot
But there was so much to do.
and
So long
get some extra places for their country and get a chance to represent
be a bit drier.
para-archery in Tokyo. Here we can see some visually impaired archer getting his arrows.
Yes, that's right. If you try to open the wood and take out the... No question. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
To kladivo a kleště.
But usually they are
Probably most of you are familiar with the world ranking tournament held here in Nove Mesto in the Czech Republic. This is the 21st tournament held here for para-archers. So it's one of the places they like to return and they like to shoot.
I adjust tactic side to put locator and we put marks on the ground. So when they come, they put it and they just have to make a little adjustment.
And let's see how the score is turning in.
Thank you. That means that we cannot do the shooters. We come to the team and score the watches. So we have 2 months of practice. It's not practice, it's adjustment.
All right, and tied 29 is taking Indonesian
So that's why they have
Firte Sinach, and he's getting 1 point lead, 58 over 57 to Kazakhstan, Abdigani Aikinaipev. Perfect 30 was shot by Thierry Usame from France, so he's getting 59 over 52 for Portugal, Eugenio Santana Franco. In our recurve selected match, we can see that Kazakhstan is taking over with 28 points shot, and he's getting the lead 3-1. For those of you who doesn't really know the difference between compound and recurve and why sometimes we have 50 something and then we have somehow just few points, just know that compound archers, they have a cumulative score, therefore they just count every value of every arrow and they just count it all together. In the recurve we have set system, and basically if you win you get 2 points, if you tie you get 1 point, if you lose you get nothing, and once you get to 6 points you get the winning of the match. Just in case it will be 5-5, we will have a shoot-off, 1 arrow shoot-off, and the one who is closest is the one who is taking the win and continue for the next round. Today's program, basically, it's this category, compound man and recurve man, open, and then now we are watching the 116 elimination round, and then after the lunch at 2:30 we will return to these two categories. So the winners will have some break to get some rest, and then we will see who will get to the gold medal match and therefore get the quota places for their country. The same chances will be the compound women and also men W1. They will have a chance in this morning session. Down there on the target 46, you can see how it's very important to have a good coach with the athlete, especially with the visually impaired athlete, because even though they really cannot see, for them it's really important to actually understand where it hit, because majority of them was born without the sight, so they need to feel it where it hits on the target.
How is he receiving information? From touch? No? Oh yeah, I saw him. I remember. Yep. On the show.
It is right, it is a target.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
fantastic. So it is the only case to break the rules and allow the assistant to touch.
We have a winner on the regional side of the field on target number 28, Simon Kenton Smith from Australia as the winner. And we also have a winner on target number 42, Kolilin from Indonesia.
We will wait for some results, and as you can see, not always there is a chance that you hit the target, and then you basically need to use a hammer and a nail and just dig it out of the wood. Of course, the best possibility is to get the arrow hole out. And here you can see our visually impaired archers. You can see it's a mixed group of men and women together, because everybody has the same conditions. They are shooting with their blind, so everybody has the same parts. And as we can see, Maxim Megerin is tying and returning back for 3-3 in the recurve man open match against Kazakhstani Kairat Sarkulov, which we can see in the image.
On target number 40, Roberto Aioli from Italy is the winner, and he is moving himself to the 1.
As we have a time, you can have a closer look on the scope and the tripod, and behind the Spanish archer you can see the big gray ball, and this is basically the place how they aim. They don't use the sight, they move their hand with the sight, and here you can nicely see behind the tree the gray part. So you can see he's touching it nicely with his hand, and basically that's how he changed the positioning. It looks like they did it on purpose for us, this setup, so we can nicely see that this, only this touching on their hand, this is their sight which they use. And then just from their movement they just get the shot. The others, of course, they have a possibility to control their shot with their visuals, which of course gets it much better. And as I was talking to the recurve set points, we have few matches which already reached the 6 points, and therefore, as it was the third end, also 6-0. So we have first Italian Giuseppe Verzini, who is going on for the afternoon matches, as well as Ruslan Bulik from Ukraine. Next one, continue with 6-0, is Eugene Patru from Romania. Another Italian guy continues, Roberto Airoldi. Slovenia will get another archer for the next round, Dejan Fabrik. And Indonesia gets a spot, shot by Kolondinin. Just in case you are wondering how was the result for our match for Kairat Sarkulov and Maxim Gerin. Kairat shot 20 points, Maxim 25, so that was his lead. So now it will be very interesting, and maybe here we'll have the chance to see also the shoot-off and see how that works. We can see nice walk of the judges. We have a mix of European, continental judges as well as some national, which are from the Czech Republic, of course. And on the and now, because we have some time until they will score, we will get some summary of the previous day, number 1 of this tournament.
Nacházíme se v Novém Městě nad Metují a dnes začínají přijíždět první výpravy lukostřelců.
Chystáme areál, připravujeme tarčovnice a dnes už probíhají i první tréninky.
Nacházíme se na letišti Václava Havla v Praze, shromažďujeme tady s kolegou všechny účastníky a poté koordinujeme dopravu do Nového Města na místo konání turnaje.
All right, so we are back, and you can see Maxim got a much stronger shot. He got 29 points on 70 meters, so very nice return. Kairat Sarkulov 23 points in this end, so very interesting match to watch at the moment. Maxim changed something, I guess, because his previous ends 23 and then 25 points, and now pretty 29. As I was saying, he needs 6 points to win, and in 5-5 they will have a tie. So we have still one more end to have a look who will be the winner. As another recurve archers are finishing, we have Ali Naibayev from Azerbaijan getting 7 points, and therefore he's continuing. Martin Chalupsky from Czech Republic, he gets 6 points, and he's also coming for another round. And also from Czech Republic, Václav Košťál get a 6-point win over 2 points for Jose Manuel Martin Rodriguez from Spain. We have another perfect 30, second one from Korean Lee Uk-soo. Another perfect 30 in compound side, Adam Dudka from Poland. After very nice ends, 28, 29, 29, now perfect 30. With a match, Fernando Barredo Poncelas from Spain versus Gary Robinson from Australia. We have a very interesting match. I guess something happened there because Fernando has all ends 28 points, but Gary, normally he would have all 29s, but in the first end he got only 19 points, so we may just guess that there was a miss. Another nice 30 was shot by Martin Doric from Slovakia. He's shooting against Leos Bartosz, but currently his 30 was still not enough because Leos Bartosz has 116 and Martin Doric 112 points. So very interesting match of Maxim Guerin and Kaila Tsarkulov, as we don't really see which arrows were the proper ones. We need to find out after they will score. As you can see, this is what I was talking about. When the coaches are carrying and guiding the visually impaired archers, that's the best part. Here on the screen we can see the technical delegate and the head judge, both actually from France. And we are just waiting for some scores to pop in. And now we should make sure if there's some shoot-off left or if we will have all matches finished. Because as I said, we are shooting for 5 ends. Some recurve matches could win easily. And here we can see Maxim Guerin with 27 points versus 24 points for Kairat Sarkulov. He is getting the win 7-3. So Maxime from France is continuing to another round. And it looks like we will have a shoot-offs. And first results come in.
Won their matches on circuit number 2.
So to another round with 144. Actually, a lot of archers from compound side continue. So it's Indonesian Firancina Firtinatsa, also Lee Buksu, another 144, Adam Dudka from Poland with 139 points, Peter Marchand from Australia. He won over Tomáš Vrzal from Czech Republic. Another 139 points, which was enough, Veselin Uzelac from Serbia. And as we previously were saying, the match Leos Bartosz versus Martin Doric with scores 27-28. Leos Bartosz is taking the lead and going over by 3 points ahead. Marcel Negau from Romania, another one with 144. It's probably a magic number at this tournament for the compound side. We will have two shoot-offs so far. One between Daniel Lelou from France and one against Fujiri Masamoni from Japan. Another one on compound side, Alexander Medvedev from Kazakhstan versus Soares Sabin from Romania. First match, 143 points tied. This one, 138 points tied. In the recurve, except our match with Maxime Guerin, we have 6-4 lead, 6 points for Mykola Halishik from Ukraine, and we still miss some scores. So we still need to wait for confirmation, and as I said, for sure 2 shoot-offs will happen, and they will happen on the compound side, but the principle of the shoot-off is the same in both cases. So 1 arrow for each archer, and the closest to the center counts. I know we could not see it very clearly, but back then, before on the field, that's where the shoot-offs are happening.
We don't have to worry about that.
So was it very fast shooting? And now we just wait for judges' confirmation and then for the last scores to enter.
¿Qué hora? 12:30. Vale. 12:30 calientando.
target number 16, officially Alexander Medvedev from Kazakhstan won the shootout.
V tuto chvíli tu probíhají tréninky, akreditace, dále také měření terčů a klasifikace handicapovaných sportovců.
Tady probíhá kontrola terčů, kde mezinárodně rozhodčí kontrolují jednak barevné odstíny a potom hlavně rozměry bodovací zóny, které musí být přesné, tak aby terče byly srovnatelné s jinými.
Probíhá kontrola náčiní, při které rozhodčí zkontrolují, že náčiní a vybavení pomůcky, které střelci používají při střelbě, odpovídají pravidlům.
So still we have one target scoring, but from our shoot-off, Fujie Masamune from Japan was sadly the one who got worst 9, and Daniel Lelu got a better one. But we still miss a score from the other shoot-off. And here it is, 9 points for Alexander Medvedev, 8 points shot by Suarez Sabin, and that makes Alexander Medvedev from Kazakhstan to go on for the next end. Okay, so we should have all matches finished, and as I said, compound men and recurve men, they will continue to get their quota places for the Tokyo Paralympics, but their 1.8 matches will start at 2:30 today. Now we will switch the field. We will change it to the compound women and men W1 category. And we will have some warm-ups, and as I said, we will have a warm-up session also for the visually impaired archers, and after the 3 ends of warm-up they will have the chance to shoot. In case of visually impaired, we will have a 1 semi-final match, 1 bye, which means free ticket for the next gold match, and we just need to know who will be shooting with who. And as we need to wait for the field to be set up, we need to do the nameplates, and as you can see, the field is quite long. We need to change the target faces and so on, so we will have a quick break for some summaries of our sponsors, and we will be back after.
It'll be a limited but I think they'll make sure everyone's taken care of. It just speaks that the experience of it is going to be diminished. I don't know the watch this time out of the entire time. You think we're going to be allowed to get it over there? They're going to rock that. It's going to be about it. Kind of awe-inspiring.
I'd say it's good to get back on the international stage after the long layoff. So it's exciting.
Je to tady úžasný. Po 2 letech, co nebyly závody, mně se to tady hrozně líbí.
At 11:15, once again, at 11:15, we will begin the practices of confinement and WM, but usually the artists practice in 15 minutes.
I'm really happy that we can give the archers the chance to be here again, to have a tournament and to get the last positions for the Paralympics in Tokyo this year.
I'm very happy to be back on the field after these 2 years complicated.
When they are on the shooting line, all of them are happy. They can shoot and compete with their heroes.
This hard year, I can say that the committee has done excellent work with this tournament.
All right, so we are back. We are still setting up the field, but I have a new guest here with me, and that's our new selected executive member, and he was actually selected on the first remote World Archery Europe Congress, which was held in 11 June. So, welcome, Arnold.
Thank you.
So, how did you like the European Congress?
European Congress, that was a special moment because it was the first virtual Congress. Of course, we should have a Congress in 2020. Everybody knows that the COVID pandemic was really a disaster for all of us. No competition, no Congress, no meetings at all. So we should have a Congress just before the European Championships in Antalya, but also that was not secure, so for the first time ever we decided to have a virtual Congress, and that was special. That's strange, you see each other but you don't meet each other, and one of the good things is always to meet each other, to hear some laughing, to enjoy things next to meetings. That was impossible, but it was really good to be together. Some decisions had to be made also because of the new elected board. I'm really happy that I'm elected on the board, and also my French colleague Jean-Michel was elected. Hilda Gibson and Darko Houdil are re-elected, so that was really good. And also Vladimir Ashev as first vice president was re-elected, so that was really good for World Archery Europe. We changed some rules, but the most important is that we have competition now.
I know, it's so nice to be back on the field. And even, I mean, of course, virtual competition is not really it, but for the Congress it can be some good way.
But I think also last year we have shown that archery is also possible in a remote way. And I think the way we did it worldwide and also in many countries itself, that was really good. You want to have people active, they want to shoot their arrows. And then you have some competition, okay, not at the same field, not in the same room. Okay, it's not the best option, but at least it's some competition. Yeah.
That's so true, that's so true. But I think I think especially here the para-archers will agree that the social moment and of gathering and so on is very important, as well as for the Congress, but mostly for them, because that's something what keeps you going. What do you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. The social gathering is really important. Talking with each other, having dinner with each other, of course, giving a pin to all the others.
Oh yeah, everybody wants to have a pin.
Yeah, yeah. And these traditions you can only have when you have real events. Yeah.
So true. Tell me, you are also a Secretary General of Netherlands Archery Federation. How did you guys dealt with the pandemic time?
Of course, we tried to get people active, so we did many webinars. We had a remote competition in the Netherlands itself, not only the World Archery competition, but also club competitions. Some people were shooting in their own backyard, for example. Of course, that was not the best solution, but we had many solutions also. So we did many things as governing bodies to get people connected. Webinars. We even did an archery quiz, and the archery quiz was really good. People to test what they know in archery, and that was really good to have as well. And I think the people were really happy that at least we did something. You cannot sit down doing nothing. That's impossible. We also did a quiz with the judges, for example, to test their knowledge about the rules.
So interesting. I want to take one as well.
Yeah, for you it's maybe also good. Maybe in Dutch it was a bit difficult for you, but otherwise.
For the Dutch it would be super hard.
But I think in English it should be good as well to do some tests for the rules for the judges.
Always.
Yeah. And the rules are always changing. So yeah.
I know, it's keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, even for para, we have so many changes. Not really this year, but last World Congress, where we adjust this 30 seconds per final. We are constantly to changing the World Archery rules for W1 categories, because before they were shooting also for the reduced targets. Now they are back on 80 centimeter targets, not reduced. So yeah, we are trying to find the best of both worlds. I guess also on the World Archery Europe Congress, some of the return for the European Cup.
European Cup,
was a
yeah.
very nice thing to do.
Yearly European Championships indoor, including barebow.
Oh,
I think
so true.
that's really good.
I mean, we don't have a barebow in Para at the moment. I mean, never say no.
It will follow a future, I suppose. Yeah. We will see. We will see. But yeah, you always have to innovate. Without innovation, you're standing still, and that's never a good solution. No.
So true. Aren't you afraid that we will have like too many competition in the year when we will innovate and add up and add on and...
That's always the debate. You can add competitions and add more competitions, but sometimes you also have to choose for stop a competition, and that's a difficulty. It's easier to start something than to stop something.
So true.
Yeah.
but then the continuous movement is also the hard part.
Yeah. No, but in the Netherlands as well, when you see the calendar, there's no weekend without an event.
Yeah.
And
that's why all of us archers are the passionate people. Because
Yeah.
you just have to love it to spend all your free time in these events.
But especially for example, for youngsters, when parents they have to travel with the kids mostly to events, and when they have more kids and they're not all archers, you should think about, okay, what's still the level you can do, and when is it okay, now it's enough.
So true. Did you actually get a chance to shoot by yourself?
And not enough. Especially when earlier this year I've broken my wrist, so that was really a problem. But now, 2 weeks ago I was shooting again a little bit, so that was really good. But
Well, maybe with the broken wrist we can put you to open category.
yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe the classifiers will find you some points to
Yeah.
attend.
I prefer to have a normal, to have a good wrist again. Yeah.
No, of course, classifiers will never do this. But
No, no, absolutely not. No, and I think it's sometimes I'm really happy also to see everybody here again, and also the job of the classifiers is not the most easiest job in archery. I think to do what they have to do, and
yeah,
some
we can
things.
just maybe clarify for the audience what the classifier does.
Yeah.
Because classifier is like a specific role. It has pretty much nothing to do with archery, but mostly with physiotherapy and the body and anatomy itself.
Yep.
So they are basically ranking and dividing the archers to the different categories, and they are making the difference where's athletes eligible to attend in a para event. Then they are choosing the difference between W1 category and the open, and just very simply said, the W1 category, if they have some issues on the 3 limbs and the torso, then they go to W1 category.
Yeah.
And this is always the discussion, and especially in front of every Paralympic Games, is the ongoing topic: who is eligible enough to be in W1 category and who is not. And as it's maybe sounds very simple, 3 limbs, so which means usually it's 1 arm and 2 legs which end up on the wheelchair, and then the torso. So that means that the people cannot really sit straight, they are always constantly falling down. So they have also a striping, and they kind of are bended to the chair.
Mhm.
But as it's very limited because we don't have a lot of W1 archers, then everybody of course wants to get in because it's the easiest category to get the medal in.
Yeah. So, as classifier, you have to be prepared really well for your job.
Yeah, so much, and I mean, every archer is so different, and we will see it more in, I think, tomorrow. That not just the archers sitting on the wheelchair and shooting, but we have multiple disabled archers, some without arm, shooting with their mouth top.
Yeah.
Some using their feet to shoot. yes, all kinds of differences, and I hope we will have a lot of them in the other days because it's very interesting to watch these people.
It is. It is.
Is this actually your first para event you attend?
No. In 2019 we had the World Championships, the Para World Championship in 's-Hertogenbosch. It was in my home country in the Netherlands. So I also even had a role in the organization of the event, and that was a really special week. Of course, we had 2 great weeks in 's-Hertogenbosch. First the Para event and then the outdoor championships. But the first week it was really special, and the whole atmosphere in 's-Hertogenbosch with people in wheelchairs, people walking around there, or with coaches, and the atmosphere was really relaxed in the week. And of course, we had a lot of stories that are inspiring other people, and I think that's the most important thing. Which challenge you have, you can do sport, you can do archery, and that was really important. And we had only one participant from the Netherlands, Roy Klaassen. He really became an ambassador of para-archery in the Netherlands, and that was really good. And of course, the people without arms and they are shooting, they were on the front page of the newspapers, because people cannot imagine you can do archery without arms.
Of course.
That's the real story. But also we were also very impressed by the visually impaired category, and we will see them this afternoon.
So true.
Yeah, and visually impaired, that's when you have to complain people that when you are visually impaired you can do archery. It's incredible. It's about feeling, it's about teamwork, and I think that's even the most important thing we can recognize in these categories. It's really teamwork, and also for the other categories it's teamwork. You have to trust your colleagues. When you're sitting on the shooting line in the wheelchair, you're not counting the points by yourself, your coach is doing it. So it's always teamwork. And
so true. To be honest, like, I trust the visually impaired archers too, because we are sitting like 20 meters from their targets.
Yeah.
But I trust them that they will not hit us. So.
No, absolutely not. But it's in my opinion, it's real top sport. It's really with the visually impaired, what they are doing, it's incredible. It's really incredible. Last year in the Netherlands, we invited the Dutch Outdoor Championship. We invited the Belgium visually impaired team, also with Ruben van Hollebeke. He has many world records. What he is doing with such a big smile and also with a great sense of humor, that's really inspiring for everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, we have among the archers, not really here in this tournament, but also in Den Bosch, we have one archer from Great Britain, and he's blind and deaf at the same time, and that's quite tricky. And I was even asking them how they communicate, and basically on the palm they are using it as an alphabet, and they are typing in between fingers and writing on palm, like on a piece of paper, the rest of the letters. And when you see this, then you start thinking completely different, because of course the whole world stops and you have to take care of the time and the care of the people. And I think that's beautiful on para-archery, because the people really appreciate everything what we do for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's good that we all have them here together. That's really good. In a really nice atmosphere, I think. Also, it's a really compliment also for the organization here that they can host it here. And at the moment, it's not raining, so that's also good. But
I know we're so lucky this week with the weather. Few sunny days. It looks like it will rain yesterday and also today, but every time once the competition started, the rain was over. So that was just great.
Yeah, and hopefully the thunder will not come here later.
I mean, let's pray for other days without rain. But actually, like, this is the best weather in terms of pandemic because of the face mask and everything. Because finally you don't really sweat.
Yeah, we're now looking to the field. The flags are completely not waving at all at the moment. It's the best archery weather you can have.
Yeah, it's maybe we will have some records.
No, who could shoot a record? That's the question. Yeah.
That's a big question always. But I mean, at the moment, we still wait for the warm-up. But we will actually not have a lot of matches because we have a lot of people who has bye. But for the compound women, we have a very interesting setup with Serbian and USA archers. Malaysia has a bye, Iran has a bye. Then we have a match with Czech Republic and Korea, Brazil and USA, and then Iraq and Belgium, Mexico and again Iraq, Spain goes by, Romania and Korea and another match, and Poland and Czech Republic. And then we have 3 matches for the two matches for W1 category with Kazakhstan and Thailand and Italy and Poland. Just so you guys know, also for the W1 category as well for the others, we have just 2 places. So basically for men W1, these guys needs to get in, because then the other part of the field of W1 is coming, and there's still a lot of matches to go, because for W1 it's 1/16 apart, and the rest of course has a bye, so they don't really have to shoot as we start after the lunch break with the others. And most importantly, we will now have the visually impaired, which is like the inserted world ranking event to this qualifying tournament today. So it's not all about Tokyo today.
No. It's also about Nove Mesto. Yeah.
Of course. Somebody has to get like the normal competition.
Yeah.
I was talking in the beginning that we have to also have the quota tournament here because of cancellation of Olbia, the Para-European Championship, where these places could be gained. Was it hard, you think? Because I mean, back then you still were not in the executive board, but do you think it was a hard decision to cancel these events?
It's always hard to cancel an event. You always want to have events. You want to have the events like it was in the plan, and canceling an event is always the last option you have. First you will have a look, can we do it without public, for example? Can we do it with COVID measures? Can we do it with masks, with tests and so on? But when you see that traveling to an event is really not easy and almost impossible for some countries, then you have to make decisions, and that's the issue also last year, of course, all the time. So we can be happy that the Olympics and the Paralympics will continue.
Oh, we are so happy for that.
I just wrote a message, read a message that the IOC president, Mr. Bach, he has arrived in Tokyo. So
Yay.
that's also a signal that you can say, okay, it's really going to happen. But then you have to find a new schedule, and that's not only for archery difficult. So for Nove Mesto, this is a real big event right now. Also for all the judges, also for the technical delegate, the scoring team. So it's much bigger than we used to have an event, and that's flexibility is maybe the most important element for this tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, flexibility, that was the highlight of 2019-20.
And 21, yeah. But also the years after, because we have to reschedule many events also in the upcoming years.
So true. Especially field and 3D was the sad ones who were usually postponed to another years.
Yeah.
Because especially because of Olympic Games, we had to squeeze in the most important qualifier tournaments, and the others could sadly wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
As it sounds bad, but sadly that's the reality. And as you said, we need to prioritize some over the others just to make it continue. And I mean, now it will be very difficult year to have kind of like a 2 season in one.
Yeah.
With World and European Championship at once.
Yeah.
In most of the cases.
Yeah, for target archery we had the European Championships in Antalya, and we will have it in September, the World Championships in Yankton, USA. And Yankton will host the Field Championships next year.
And they also take the part for the World Cup final.
World Cup finals, yeah.
So
yeah.
another change which happened.
Yeah, and we are now looking for the calendar of this year, but next year the calendar is also really complicated. Also for all the para events, we will discuss it later today. Also with the para committee of the World Archery Europe about how can we schedule all events in 22, in 23, and in 24 we have already the next Paralympics. So this new Olympic period, it's only 3 years, and that's also asking for a lot of flexibility. Yeah.
Very true. I mean, most of these archers, they will just jump from one preparation to another without any break, basically.
Yeah.
So very hard for them, and I think mentally, even because of pandemic and so on, it was super hard to get the mind going and set it up and keep on going, even at home without any competitions.
Yeah, without competition, but also the circumstances were also different for everybody. Some people really, they could have good circumstances because of the climate. They could shoot outside.
Oh, so true.
Year round, but there are many countries it's impossible to shoot outdoor in winter time. So, or in summertime sometimes.
So true. I mean, you have to choose if you want to freeze or shoot.
yeah, no, and of course we had some great pictures of last year's that people were shooting in the snow, and they dare to shoot in these circumstances. That's wonderful, and that's also the inspiration you need also for other people. But it's the difficulty for a level playing field. Yeah, you see it also here. That some people are really not. They're again in competition after 1.5 years, almost 2 years without competition.
No, I mean, this is the first time I saw Korean team coming to international tournaments after a pandemic. So I was like, and there's so many of them. It's so nice to see that it's all slowly coming back to
such an international field. I think maybe you've seen in the Paris a little bit, but it's.
Yeah, here in Nove Mesto we usually see these big international groups always before the Olympics, because here is usually the last qualifier tournament inserted in the world ranking tournament. Now we of course had another continental tournament, which makes all the shortages of the categories quite interesting. And even for me, and I am also a judge, so it was super hard to find out what some mixtures of some categories are, because for example this M1W I had a hard time, to think what a category this is, and then I understand the logic that we go like men, and then 1 stands for W1, and then we go W for world. And because yesterday we had the category M1C as men W1 continental, so super hard to see the differences.
Yeah, it is, and then also only individually. The Europeans, they qualified for 3 events individually. The European quota tournament, the final quota tournament, and the world ranking event. So without even the team matches.
Very true. Just mix teams and that's it. No more for para, no more real teams, but to be honest, since there is not a lot of archers from each country, it would be very hard to set up some teams, and having Olympic Games with 3 teams shooting, it's not really I think the message we want to tell the people who are not really in the archery world. Yeah, and we can see that slowly the warm-up sessions are starting.
Yeah, we're sitting very close to target number 48. Here are the visually impaired warming up. And that's also very special to see the warm-up for the visually impaired, because they are not only just shooting but also fine-tuning how they have to stand, what's the good position. The communication between the coach and the archer is very, very interesting to see for especially visually impaired. Yeah.
So true. I mean, I admire them. I have even issues with these like thrust exercises, where you are falling down and somebody is catching you. And this is another level that you shoot an arrow
but
somewhere there.
Have you tried it some? Have you tried
not
it
with
ever?
not with the blindfold. No.
I think you have to do it.
Yeah, but
this
without
is
anybody around.
no, of course, we have to. But safety and security is always important, especially also in this category. But I think everyone should try this. When you are an archer, you should try this. Then you can see. You cannot see, but then you feel that it's completely different than just shooting from 50 meters or 70 meters. And
so true. I mean, in my club here in Prague, we have also visually impaired archer, but he's using a little different technique. He's not using the ball which we talk about in the morning, where they aim and hit it by the palm, but our guy, he has this like the fishing string tied up to the target, and when he's handing like carrying the bow, he can feel with his fingers where is the string in like certain bracket, and he is like feeling it, so he doesn't really need to tell the coach go to the right, to the left, because he can feel what we are more likely seeing when we shoot. So it's also completely different technique, but as this one with the balls or some sharp ends is more like widely spreaded. Of course, this is the one which we use in the World Archery and World Archery Europe events. But it was always very interesting when he come alone for the practice, shot there, go home. Only he had some issues with rain, because then you kind of don't hear what's happening. So he was kind of like locked in one corner.
that's another world then. Yeah.
Because the raindrops are so interrupting and you cannot find a way. And yeah, when you realize these things, it's a new thing. But what was very interesting for me was that, you know, during summer times there's this super hot weather. And he told me that one of the things he liked is that he can go shoot in the midnight because the weather is nice. And for him it doesn't matter because he just cannot see. So the only difference is that the buses go very badly in the night times. So that's the only difference basically.
I'm just looking now to the target. That it's also with the visually impaired. It's compound and recurve.
Yes.
It's not only one.
They can choose whatever suits them the best. And actually, when we talk about classifiers, classifiers are not classifying visually impaired. Visually impaired category, they go to the professional doctors, which are under International Paralympic Committee, and they go to like a specific eye inspection or like checkup. And officially we have two categories, the one which are completely blind and then the other ones which are partially blind, so they see just some lines, circles and so on. Both categories will shoot with the blind, but you know, always it's so different when you kind of know where you are and you can a little bit see what's happening, and when you have no idea what's going on and you just feel it.
This is what we see now on target 47 with the warm-up of the visually impaired. The two areas are really close to each other, and it's all about the feeling. It's really about the feeling. It's
now they just need to a little bit move the feet and they are there.
Yeah.
Normally the archers would move the side where it goes, there is where you move.
Yeah.
And in this case you kind of need to move the whole fixture just a little bit, but try to move, for example, a chair 1 millimeter to the side.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to do. But as you can see, this is all the teamwork and this is all it matters. The help for the others with the coaches. It's always the great thing to have. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work and they have to find the arrow in the grass, but but this doesn't happen only to visually impaired archers, just to be clear. This happens to everybody, and especially the starters or the young kids. We always say that we go to find some mushrooms.
luckily we have volunteers here who are helping.
We have actually a big group of volunteers.
Yeah, yeah.
Usually you can see them with the blue and pink t-shirts on the images. And without them it would be almost impossible.
They're
to
all
run
members
this
of the
event.
local club?
No. Those are all the kids around the club. Kids who are out for summer from school. Because actually behind the field here is a big school.
Yeah.
So some are local kids and some are the athletes. Few of them are doing this in like I think 5th or 6th year in a row, and as this is the 21st tournament in here in Nove Mesto for para, some people already know what to do, which is always
and not only para-archery.
That's true, but mostly para-archery.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we also have here also the national championship in the Czech Republic, but para-archery is the main event in this time. One year it was also shot on the beautiful square here in the Nove Mesto. We could see it in some of the images of the city. It's a very nice Renaissance
it's beautiful,
square.
yeah.
We had the wall built, which looks exactly like the buildings behind, so it was looking nice, it was effective.
You're proud of it.
I mean, every time when we put the archery out to some places, it's always super great. And I mean, you guys did also a great job in Den Bosch in 2019.
Yeah, but this is what we need, is bringing archery to the city centers.
Yeah, we just need to find the balance of safety and
yeah, and of course
nice location.
But we have so much experience worldwide, so we can organize archery everywhere in a safe way. And then you need good cooperation with the city, with other people, but it's possible. And bringing archery to city centers is really good for the future of our sport, and also for para-archery. And that was the good thing we had at the World Championships in 2019. All finals were in the city center, and that's what we need. That's what we need to do.
That's true.
And also on the national level, we should have the ambition to bring it to the people, to bring it to the audience, close to the audience.
It's so true. I just realized actually, like for most of these archers, the World Championship in Den Bosch was actually the last one.
Yeah.
And now this is the first one.
Yeah.
And we were both part of the Bosch.
Yeah.
And we are now here sitting, you know, and opening
I think only Dubai was in between.
Yeah, exactly.
And
only Dubai this year, and
there were not so many people in Dubai. The field was not so big. No.
I mean, that was still in the time when the pandemic was still in a bad shape, especially here in Europe.
Yeah.
So it was very hard to do some sort of competition, and I know that they were like coming through the disinfection sprays.
Yeah.
So very, very high standards of safety. Luckily, as we are getting better and better, we are just getting face mask obligatory, but most of it is, of course, we get tests, like millions of tests.
Yeah, let's hope that there are not coming new waves with COVID. The pandemic is not over yet, unfortunately, but it's good that we can have events, but it's
that's true. I mean, if it's just the test and mask, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If this is the only thing, it's all good. And at least we can see each other, have the nice tournaments, and slowly return back to the normal. We have some mushroom picking again in the visually impaired class. We are searching for this Norwegian girl's arrow.
Yeah, I think they're looking now for 2 arrows. One from the...
Let's hope she broke enough.
Let's hope so, yeah.
And to be honest, we have such a nice discussion. I forgot to count the ends, and I don't know if this.
It was the third one.
Oh, so then
this was the third one. Yeah.
Great. So that means that was the end of the warm-up session, and we will switch to the competition part. But we will still have the same categories. We will have a compound women, men W1, and visually impaired semi-final match. And there we can see Londal Annette from Norway, and her opponent is Martin Ania Daniel from Spain. You can see his arm and half of his face.
Yeah. The compounds, they will shoot, of course, 5 ends. The visually impaired?
Yep.
How many ends do they shoot?
It's basically like the other competition as well, so we can follow up them. I mean, also W1 category, they go cumulative score.
Yep.
So they're just adding up, and once they reach 5 ends, we either do the shoot off, like we did this morning, or we will have some winners.
So we don't have a set system like in recurve. For the compounds, of course,
for the compounds
yeah.
and for the W1s.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We will just count on and we see it happen. So we just start.
The clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking, but I'm not really sure if these guys know that they should shoot. Because there's something happening. The judges are looking not really happy, I think. Maybe there was not a clear sign. So it looks like we will wait for them. They will get maybe an extra end after. You know, like there's always the lucky part that none of them shoot, so we don't have to solve some issues. We will just give them extra time.
The compound category and the W1, they are shooting.
Yeah, and I think they were just like not ready to start, and they were not really sure that that's the competition.
And the compounds are completely on the left-hand side of the field.
Yeah, we
W1
can see like
in the middle.
super small people with a back there. In the far end, that's the ladies with a compound. And in the middle, we have the W1 category. The most disabled people, which we have here in the para events. Yeah, and we can nicely see the small cube which you use for the aiming. It's so small. I mean, no wonder they are always like all over the target at the moment. But let's see, they will have a good score. I mean, for the European Championship, which we have in 2018, we had even the visually impaired in the square next to the church. And for some it was super hard because, you know, the stress, new place, because usually the rule says they have to stay on the same setup as they were from the very beginning, so it's much easier for them to adjust.
But also this, not shooting in the first end, that gives tension, it gives stress to both archers there. Yeah.
So true, and but I mean, if you have a televised match, it's another thing. I'm not really sure if they know that they are actually on the TV at the moment, but as we are the closest to them, we will get the most of their shots. And
but we're not talking that loud. That's a good thing.
Luckily, we are not. But you know, behind you can see all of these people.
Yeah.
And then 1 meter from them, there's a coach, and he can tell all the signals and. And all of it. I mean, we can see the poor volunteer, he is waiting for something, but
no
too
score.
bad nothing is happening for him.
Let's see, do we have some scores already?
With another end. So at the moment they are still riding down. And hopefully soon we will get the first parts come in.
We see on the screen Annette Londal. She's shooting on target 1.
Yeah, she's from Norway, and you know the 2 close arrows next to the target, that was her. Nice grouping. And Martin, he actually in the first round he hit the leg of the target, so I think it will be very equal match. And in visually impaired category, everything what can happen, it's all interesting.
We have some first scores.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we have very nice scores. 29 points. We have RF King from USA. We have another 29 with Jeong Jin Jung from Korea. Also Christel Timeta from Belgium. 29 points. And the last one goes to Korea again. Kim Mi-soon. I mean, in compound, it's not really so interesting like in a recurve when you know it's very soon over. On the other hand, once you do some mistake in recurve category, you are pretty much fine because you start over with another session.
Absolutely.
But once you do one wrong shot in compound, it's so hard to go back.
It is. We see some big differences already. For example, Kim Mi-soon against Miela Radu, 29-17.
Yeah, I think maybe something happened there.
Maybe a miss. Yeah.
You know, since the targets are so far from us, it's so hard to track. But also, like Dorota Dudka, 24 points, and Lenka Kuncovac is 18 points.
Yeah.
With normally the average is above the 20 points for all. So let's see if they will start to shoot at the moment. And it looks like they do, so now everything was clarified and looks like they are about to start. I mean, here we can see also not just the tripod for the aiming, but also we saw that there are the for the feet construction. That's what we talk about, like if they go somewhere just a little bit move, then everything changes and everything moves at the end. And I mean, it's just 30 meters, but still it does a big difference.
We see Annette Londal with a 5 with the first arrow, and Daniel Martin Anaya with a miss.
Yeah, but very slight one.
Just no point.
But you know, now also Norwegian girl, she missed. So as you can see, it's so. This is the Daniel's target.
It touched a line, the second arrow. So that should be 7. Yep.
So we have like a 5 points for Annette, and then another miss. And so as you can see, it's so tight. I'm all 4 nervous. This looks like a 4, I guess. And another one also for Daniel. So very one, and
it looks like the first set will go to Spain.
Yeah, but you know, like the difference is so close. It's like only 2 points difference, and there's one thing for sure: in visually impaired category, nothing is clear, and every arrow really counts. Because as we saw, as we were speaking like about the compound women, that average is 20 plus.
Yeah.
Here, of course, it's a little different with score.
But when you see the world record of the Belgian guy Ruben van Hollebeke, that's incredible.
Of course, like
his level is incredible. Yeah.
Knowing all of these numbers, I mean, this shows that the archery is really about consistency, and mostly in the visually impaired.
You see Annette is still standing there on the shooting line.
I think she doesn't want to move. She wants to stay in the position. She doesn't
It
change
almost looks like a statue.
Yeah, but you can see that she is so nervous.
Yeah. You see also the preparation next to her from the Cypriotic.
Yeah, he was lucky enough to go for another one.
Yeah.
Yes, super tight one.
Now they're counting and
But
defining.
you know, like luckily this is an easy count.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Every time we pray that the compound archers shoot just 10s and the rest goes up to 9, so it's easy. But also like this side is also easy.
It is. Yeah.
Once the blue color is not involved, I'm fine.
The first set's going to Spain. It's now score 2-0 for Spain.
Yeah, and we can see again the tripod. Just this ball can touch the arm, and this is just the only signal basically for them to have some knowledge about what's going on basically. And then they just hear the coach, and that's pretty much it.
Did we already tell the distance for the visual impaired?
Yeah, we have a 30 meter for them, and then the compound, and as well as W1 man, we have a 50 meters. So no 70 meter at the moment.
No.
We will get back to it after the lunch break, because the recurve men and women will start. And I mean, after the lunch we have quite a busy schedule
It's
to
a
follow.
fully booked schedule. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, now we have just a few matches, and after the lunch, I mean, after this round we have a gold final for visually impaired, and then we have a break.
Yep.
And we start over with the
Let's
quota.
have a look at the compound women's scores, and we see on in the match Diana Bacco against Irv King, it's 49-55. So
Yeah, RF started nicely with 29 points, so it was a strong lead, but I mean, now she lost a point again.
Yeah.
Everything is possible.
Young Jing Young against Lenka Kadetova. It's 58-46. Big difference.
Good check.
Good check? Okay, yeah. After a few days in Czech Republic, my language is improving. Yeah. Brazil is leading against USA.
Yeah, and Leah Sanchez from Mexico, 55-46 against Wurud Al-Mursedi from Iraq.
We see the good score of Christel Simena from Belgium, 56 against Sarah Al-Hamid, 51 from Iraq.
And a strong lead for Dorota Dudka from Poland against Lenka Kuncova from Czech Republic, 52-47. And also a strong lead for Fabio Azzolini from Italy versus Czankiewski Piotr from Poland, 54-39.
Yeah.
And we go to another end. Now it will be more tricky for us to count the ends because of the visually impaired missed the first one, but luckily it's just one, so it's easy to
the first arrow for Ned Londo is in the red. It looks like an 8.
Yeah, and another one was so close, but it was a miss.
It's just missing the line.
Yeah, the Spanish guy just slightly misses, but you can see then the
that's
yeah, and we go again for miss for Annette. And on the other hand, Daniel from Spain, I think it looks like a 6. And you can see that the one where he's waiting for the gold match, he's able to put all in the target.
And another miss for Annette. So Daniel needs a 3 to win the second set. At least, yeah.
Which he can do and he also cannot. Oh, he looks very nervous.
But
it's one. I think it's one. I think it's touching.
Yeah. So that should be the second set for Annette.
1 point difference. I mean,
the 1 point difference.
So tight. But you can see how he is also nervous. You know, he's like shaking.
And of course, we have to wait for the decision for the target judge. We will see it in a few seconds.
You know, maybe they will also talk agents next to each other, the coaches. Because first of all, they can decide, and then it's the judge's decision. Because we are still in the normal process of the elimination rounds. It's not really the final field setup, so if they will decide, no judge needed for the decision again. But yeah, very interesting matches in the visually impaired category. And Mrs. Christos is nicely piling up his arrows, warming up, and I wanted to say he's observing his opponents, but that's probably not really what's happening. I think he's in his mode and he's just staying and shooting.
Trying to get a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to have his muscles warm up for his match, which is just after this one. You know, luckily we have the compounders, so we know there will be 5 ends. So
yeah,
let's hope we don't have to have the extension and they will not really make it up to the shoot-off, because then they would cause us some delays.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 2-2 confirmed.
2-2 confirmed, yeah. So at least we will have 4 sets. At least.
Yep, no 6-0. And what about the compounders? Compound women.
Again, 1 point back from Diana Bacco against Irv King. It's now 76 against 81. Zhang Jingyang, 83 points against Lenka Kadetova, 74. But also here we see more points for Kadetova against Young. Okay.
Yeah, maybe she's coming back. She's like, let's don't give up.
It's also a bit more windy now. A little bit more. So maybe...
Yeah, I mean, it's like the nice breeze.
Yeah, but maybe it's infecting the scores.
I think it's more the nerves.
We will see, yeah. And we have on target number 9. What is it? Yeah.
On target number 9 we have a bye.
Yeah.
Because opponent of Carmen Rubio just, I guess, didn't show up. So she's automatically in the next round.
Yeah. You see the highest score at the moment for the compound women for Kim Mi-soon, 84. Against Miela Radu, 64.
But you know, it's interesting. So far we didn't have any 30 in the compound women category. Neither in the W1. I mean, W1, currently Fabio Azzolini from Italy, he is 80 points versus 60 points for Piotr Jakinacki from Poland.
And in 6 seconds the fourth end will start.
Yeah, and we are back to our... Oh, now the wind is... You can see how it's turning the accreditation card on the coach.
Yeah.
The wind is playing. And I mean, I don't really think that the visually impaired has a strong bow like the able bodies they, for example, have for the compound men open. Nice 6.
And we see a miss for Annette Landau.
But you know, even on the warm-up, you can see Mrs. Christos also had a miss.
Yeah.
So as we talk, there are possibilities everywhere in this category. Yeah, it looks like another 6, maybe 1. Yeah, 1 for Annette. And 2 6s for Daniel. I think he doesn't want to give up. I think he decided it, like, he wants to take the 2 points.
Shooting an 11 is still not possible for Annette, so...
Yet.
Yeah,
now
but
let's see where
maybe the World
goes.
Archery Congress will change the rules for compound.
I mean, I personally hope not.
And this is, I think it's in the yellow. It's a 9 for
it's a very
Daniel.
nice
So
9.
a 29 score for Daniel Martin Anaga. That's really good. And a
7
score
points.
of 8. Yeah, for Annette Landau.
I mean, so far the best end.
The best end, yeah.
And a nice grouping for Daniel from Spain. You know, now, if even Mrs. Christos would be in the game, he would beat even him.
Yeah. A score of 29, that's really good.
I mean, even the compound women would take it. They can do even 17 at some point.
17, 18.
I mean, compound women, you know. So even he has a better score than...
That's really good, yeah.
So we go score now, and let's see for the compound women and W1 men how it continues. I like that Daniel is always coming there to score with them.
Yeah, that's the difference between Annette and Daniel. Daniel is walking to the target with his coach. Annette is still standing in her position, concentrating.
Just so she doesn't lose the spot, I think. I would feel so lonely there, just standing there and waiting for them to give me the arrows. Yeah, so 4-2, so let's see if Daniel finishes up and take the 6 points. I mean, if he continues like this, it's all good. Yeah, Annette feels like she needs more practice in this case.
So the scores are confirmed. The fourth set will be shot in a few minutes. Meanwhile, we see new scores for the compound women. Leah Sanchez against Wurut Al-Murshidi, 109 against 97. It's very close. On target number 6, Anne Ferreira Silva Pacheco Xavier against Marta Chavez. It's 107, 106.
So close.
I think it's the closest score we have at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, some scores we are still missing, but it looks like even on the shots they vary both very nicely. But we have some nice leads. 100 points versus 109. Tarik RF King and Bako Dijana from Serbia is really needed to get back up. As well as Lenka Kadetova from Czech Republic, 97 points versus 109 points for Jeong Jung.
We see that Simeda from Belgium, she shot only 25 points against Al Hamed from Iraq, 27. So, but the lead is still for Belgium, 106 against 99. And target 10, Kim Yusun is leading 112 against 88 against Radu from Romania.
Yeah, and I mean on the W1 category we have the big lead extending even more. Fabio Azzolini from Italy, 106 and 83 points from Piotr Chaknatsky. I mean,
I think in the set point system on the screen, yeah, it's 4 for Martin, 2 for Landau.
Yep, we are updated now. So maybe it's the last end also for them. For sure, it's the last official end for the compound and the W1 category. And then if needed, we will go to the shoot-off, but maybe we finish all if Daniel shoots like he did in the last end. So let's have a look. Annette is getting ready. Ah, and it was a miss. Ah, but also for Dan.
Yeah, both a miss. Both on the left side of the target.
So let's see what happens now.
And that's in
7, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's a 7. That's a good solid start for this.
And that's in
3, I think.
It's a 3-7-3.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
With a good last shot, Martin can win this match and reach the finals of the visually impaired tournament.
Oh, he wins the semi-final. We have still 1 more to go.
And it's an 8, so 15 points for Daniel Martin
I
Anaga.
think it
And
was 2.
it's 5 points for Annette Landau, so it seems to be
They
clear.
made it without delay. They are so good.
So the winner is Daniel Martin Anaga.
Yeah, and he will go against Mrs. Christos for the gold final match, which will follow just after this one. We just have to wait for the scoring and confirmation in case we have some shoot-off, and I think only Marta Chavez could go up at this 1 point against Anne Ferreira Silva Pacheco Xavier. But let's see, I mean, for these scores at this round, maybe more shoot-offs can happen.
You never know.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see, you know, how they go from the big miss back to the target, and they are able to still do actually quite a decent score, because they improve even from the 8 points, or like Daniel, he had this 11, then 6, and then this beautiful 21. So he's really improving. I think he's ready for...
He's ready for the final. Yeah.
For the final, exactly.
So that also means that the bronze medal is for Anne Landau.
Exactly. It was kind of like a semi-final / bronze match.
The bronze medal final, yeah.
Yeah, we can see they confirm the results. And let's just wait when the others will go. And first are in.
We see a winner on target number 5, Ying Yang Zhang, as won against Lenda Gadetova, 135 against 119. Winner on target number 8, Leah Sanchez from Mexico. She has won against Wurut Al-Murshidi, 137, 121. Winner on target 10, 140 points for Kim Mi-song against Radu from Romania. And also winner on target 11, Dudka Dorota, 132 points against Lenka Kunchova. And what do we see more?
Yeah, we see our tight one was actually not ending up with a shoot-off, and Anne Ferreira Silva Pacheco Xavier with 132 points beat Marta Chavez from USA. So this 1 point lead, she lost so much points.
And in the end, Sarah Al-Hamid made a comeback, but it was not enough. So Cristela Simeda, she has won 131 against 127. Meanwhile, in the W1 category, Fabio Azzolini has won 130 against 107. Piotr Janacci is...
Oh, but look at the score, it was 24-24.
Yeah.
So very, very tight one.
And on target number 2, we also have a winner. From the USA, Irv King has won 135 points against 122. Dejana Bako, she is out of competition right now after her
So
last.
no shoot-off.
No shoot-offs. So that means that we will have
Just one match.
one match
to
before
watch.
lunch, yeah, and that's a gold medal match.
Exactly. You go for the last match, and then for a lunch break.
And
So
both archers will shoot on their own target.
Yes.
So we have target.
So we always try to let the archers stay on their targets. You know, sometimes when we have more than 3, we use some symbols so it's clear where are the matches connected to each other.
Yep.
So for example, we use a triangle and squares or colors, so the audience and also us, we can see where to watch, because of course normally we change and put the archers next to each other, and it's much easier to watch. But for these guys, it's so hard to set up, and in order to hit everything, it's super complicated. So we just let them stay, and
Yeah, so that, yeah, but
we
and
change the
that's
rest.
because of everything they have to stand in a good position, the right position. We cannot change it. So we have now the both red flag targets.
It's true.
So that's
Very nice accident.
it's very clear, yeah.
Yeah, we can see that Annette moved very fastly.
Yeah.
And you can see that, I mean, normally when we are shooting on the grass, they just get the big nails and they just dig it in.
Yeah.
Here they just get the bricks which holds the tents, just so they have stability and they are 100% sure it will not move.
So they know exactly where to stand. And that's why a warm-up round is very important for the visually impaired.
So true.
And now we can see how Daniel is going to his
getting
position.
ready.
Fully supported.
It's like when you park a car, you know, you just like park him on the position, then he's 100% sure he's there.
And Crystal's missiles.
And you can see that it's a completely different like approach, you know. Daniel, they just park, and Missiles, he was just like, here it is, and you do the rest. And I mean, Mrs. Christos is a very experienced archer, and he knows what to do. And I mean, both of them, they were in the World Championship in Den Bosch. And just to clarify, the visually impaired category, it's not getting quota places for Tokyo. Only the open categories and W1 goes there. So this is just the inserted world ranking tournament, which we have for today.
And we're going to start with a final.
First final of this tournament.
First final of this tournament. And it starts now. 120 seconds for the first 3 arrows for both archers. Both with a compound bow.
And we have some, I think, 8 and miss
And
for
a miss,
Mrs. Christmas. I think he has like nice glasses, you know, these sunglasses which are taped over. You can see the Cyprus flag. Yeah,
And
they
you can
set up very nicely to...
He's shooting very quickly.
Yeah, his hand like didn't move. He just like stayed very strongly, and I think it was like 4 or 5.
I think it's 4. And Daniel
Look
is
at his front hand. It just
and this
don't
is in the
clinch.
red. This
Yeah,
must be a
that's
7.
That's a clear 7.
And Daniel still has
But
to
you can
shoot
see
his
like
second
the
arrow.
little Daniel is just shaking a little bit, but Misso's front hand is just
And
strong.
this is
5.
a 5, yeah. So it looks like 13 points already.
Yeah, it's like a completely 2 different styles. But eventually, like, both actually get a nice grouping and good score.
And he still has to shoot his
Last
third
one.
arrow. 22 seconds left.
He's so nervous.
And that's
it's
in
a
the yellow.
10.
Oh, that is a
It's a
wonderful shot. It's a
10.
10, yeah. Oh.
So nice, so interesting.
So the first set is for Daniel. 23 points. Unbelievable.
Yeah, last time he had only 21, so he's improving.
Yeah. Did someone in the visual impaired category ever shot 30 points? Do we know that? I don't know, but...
To be honest, I'm not really sure. I don't track them so nicely, but like eventually they did.
I hope so, yeah. But 23 against 11.
It's a good start.
That's a good start.
Well, I
Even
mean, we have to remember we have a set system here, so
everything's possible. Yeah. Christos knows what he has to do. But the group of arrows of Daniel is really good.
yeah, I mean, he was shaking so hard and he has such a strong grouping. Very, very interesting to see this. Yeah, it looks like it's confirmed. 2-0 to Martin Daniel from Spain.
It seems that Daniel is shooting better and better and better today. Also
yeah, he gets more confidence, so
yeah.
he can shoot more and more. Yeah, you know, like maybe we'll get 6-0 match and it will be a fast one. Maybe we go to the shoot-off. It's like
everything's
I
possible.
love this stuff, but like you don't know what's happening next. And we are getting ready for another.
We go to the second set. No other matches at the field at the moment, and that's of course what they deserve.
Oh yeah.
The field only for the final for the visually impaired category. Christos Misos from Cyprus and
Look
Daniel
at the
Martin Anaga.
fans.
Yeah.
They have like so many of them.
People
It's
watching
always so
behind.
nice to see the fans, even from Spain.
And the second set will start.
Ah, we were too nice to him.
Yeah, the first is a
he
miss.
needs to kind of make sure.
Yeah.
And 2 points for Christos.
So Christos takes the lead in the second set. 2 points.
But look at the Christos front arm. It's just like
This
so
is
strong. Yes, I think 4.
3, 4. Quattro. Yeah, it's a 4.
Ah,
And it's
and we
again
have a
a miss.
missed ball on the other side, so you can
So-
see how he's shaking. I think he was too excited to get so good score. Maybe he heard
Yeah,
us.
it's really it seems that the nerves are becoming bigger and bigger for
yeah,
Daniel.
I mean, finals are hard for everybody.
Yeah. Christos going for his third arrow,
7.
and that must be 13 points already. Shooting 30 points with 1 arrow is not possible, but
I mean, 5 can save you. At least you could put
Yep.
back the normal pace and.
but the second set has been won by Christos Misos from Cyprus.
So as I said, 6-0 or.
Yeah.
So we go to or. So now it looks like 2-2.
So at least we will see 2 other sets in this final for the visually impaired tournament.
Yeah, I mean, it's always so nice to see that everything, really everything is possible in these categories. And when you know that they just cannot have a look around to see how is the field set up or anything, they just feel the difference between the grass and the tartan, because we are on the athletic field. It's also a bit harder because they are used to shoot in the grass usually. But as you said, since we need to push archery more to the crowd, more to the cities, they need to get used to the flat grounds, podiums, crowd.
Yeah.
So
and I'm sure that they will, in their hometowns, they will train also different circumstances. They're shooting a lot of arrows also weekly.
For
Always
sure.
to improve. And Crystals and his coach are walking back together with a judge.
Yeah, and we go to another end. So, any tips for the next results for the next end? Because, I mean, you can tip everything. Because we started in 11 versus 23. Now we are 13 versus 5.
Crystals 11 and 13. That looks really stable. 23 and 5 with 2 misses from Daniel. But it's the set system, so...
Yeah, and that makes it even nicer. More equal. So we just see the consistency, because in this case it would be, I think, very hard for them if they would have a cumulative score.
Yeah, and even with the cumulative score, then Daniel should take the should have the lead at the moment. But the first arrow of Crystals is a miss. Yeah, and this is in the blue.
6.
It must be a
Very
6.
nice
Yeah.
one. So see, like, he always needs to kind of calm down with these misses, and then he can start over. Maybe it puts down his stress.
But should the first arrow be more important with the visually impaired?
You know, like, my coach, he was always saying,
Oh, that is
very
maybe a 9.
nice. But my coach
8
always
or a
said,
9?
like, every
9,
arrow
it's
counts.
a 9, yeah. And this is
also 9.
It's also 9.
Maybe the judges will move it up to the 10, but at the moment...
Let me see.
Very nice one, 8.
Very close to each other.
So nice, so interesting.
No miss for Daniel. He cannot afford a miss at the moment.
And
he's
he
shooting
doesn't.
in the blue. Yeah,
4 or
very
5.
close to the other arrow.
From this angle we cannot really see it clearly, but...
We think it's 6. So then the score should be 21 against 16, but we see the asterisk for the second arrow of Crystals. Maybe it's a 9, it's a liner.
Yeah, sadly for us, it's both in the angle where we can't really see. But I think, like, it will be very
But good
tight one.
scores.
And I think maybe like the 9 could be also a 10, but we will see if they will call it charge or not.
But really good scores this set of both archers. And the coaches are counting. For them it's really clear.
Yeah, you know, it's like even when we are quite close, once you are standing in front of the target, everything is much clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 17 and 21. So yeah, it was
It was a 9. Yeah.
And a 4. Yeah. So not 6, but the last one was a 4 for Daniel. So it was really shading, the arrow was shading another arrow. But either way, it's 4 set points for Daniel.
Crystals
So
2.
we see if we go to shoot off or... I mean, yeah, like for now, the majority of the visually impaired archers are from Europe. Because I don't really remember at the moment any, like, other than European visually impaired archer, which is actually competing on the international level. So maybe we are doing something good in Europe, you know?
Yeah, of course, what you need is a lot of support for visually impaired archers. You have to find volunteers, coaches, to give them the support.
That's true, but also the wheelchair guys, they needed the support,
absolutely.
so... Yeah, sometimes they can be more independent, but these guys also.
Yeah,
so.
but it's really good that we have this event also in this tournament.
So let's see where Daniel. I think it's like 7 and Mrs. 8.
Is it an 8?
I think it's 8 for Mrs. and 7 for Daniel.
Oh, they're so close to each other. It's a real final.
Super go. Even more fans are coming.
That looks like...
I think it's a 4.
4, yeah. And this is in the yellow.
Oh. 9. Daniel wants to take it.
Yeah, this almost looks like a match point for Daniel.
Ah, but let's wait with
yeah.
Still one more can do the whole lot of difference.
Yeah, we know how good crystals can shoot.
6.
18 points of 3 to win for Daniel.
Yeah, didn't you say this before?
And ooh.
And it looks like 4 points.
It is, yeah, it looks like 4 points. So
it looks he got it.
And the audience is clapping, so it...
I think he cannot believe what that just happened.
It really looks like a 6 to win for Daniel. A big hug from his coach. Yeah, this is great.
I think after he was shaking all of these shots, he really deserved.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah, the emotions are very important, and I mean, he's quite young, so he appreciates every win. And I mean, he beat in the semi-final match Norwegian girl, and now he goes home with a gold medal.
Then the silver goes to Cyprus, the Christos Misos, and yeah, Christos, we know him already for years, and it's good to have more competition also for the visually impaired. But this gold medal is for Daniel Martin Anaga, and the silver medal will go to Christos Misos, and as you told, Annette Londa will have the bronze medal.
Yeah, true. And it was confirmed.
We saw the judge waving
signalizing,
to
so
target 48, the target of
Daniel. Super nice match, super nice.
And this was the last match before the lunch break.
Yes.
With an overloaded program in this afternoon.
Yeah, we will find out who will get the last qualifying quota for Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. And we will start in 2:30 with a warm-up, and then I think it will be again 3 ends, and then we go back to the individual matches.
But first the attention for the gold medal winner, who is walking back to the shooting line, walking back to the audience.
I believe he's super happy.
He is happy, yeah.
That's the time when you just cannot believe, and so thank you guys, and we will see you soon.
After lunch.